Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Traveling Time with Dan, where we mix travel with history and with leadership, and of course with me, Dan Blanchard. Today I'm at the amazing Crocker Field in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. This is one of the oldest, biggest, greatest high school football fields in the country. And not only that, they've also got one of the oldest rivalries in the country going back over 128 years between Fitchburg and one of the neighboring towns, Leominster. So let me ask you a question here. I'm at this big, amazing football field. If you could just kind of picture what this must have been like 100 years ago. Here's the question I want to ask you. Why would a billionaire paper mogul in 1918 spend a fortune, including a permanent endowment, just so that high schoolers could play on a field that looked like Harvard's? Was it kindness, or was it some kind of social engineering? Remember, they were trying to make good employees back then. So let's go on. Let's say, well, what was back then? What was going on back then 100 years ago in 1918 plus? Well, it's the progressive era. This is the era where we're trying to make human progress. I think of Teddy Roosevelt, the Boomers Party, Progressive Party, all that when I think of the progressive era. But it was a time when they were trying to make progress. So you get this billionaire mogul. His name is Alvah Crocker II, right? This paper mogul. He's going to hire the Olmsted brothers. They're the ones that did Central Park in New York, Walnut Hill Park in New Britain, Connecticut, where I teach, right? And a whole bunch of other places. They were like top-notch, the Olmsted family, right? And they believed that all public towns should have green spaces. Green spaces, it's like progress in the progressive era. It's green spaces just make everything better, right? Whether it's parks, whether it's big ball fields like this, the green spaces make you healthy, right? Make the people healthy, make the society and community healthy, and even help create a healthy democracy. Yes, they did believe that green spaces could help create a healthy democracy. Now, this is an era, right, when like organized sports are pretty much like getting ready to take off, and they are taking off, organized sports, right? And it's creating like a lot of like civic pride, right? I mean, think about it. Even today, when the kids make the playoffs, everybody gets pumped up, right? Going on a road trip, right? Rooting for your team in the States and the playoffs and all that, right? This is really, really good stuff. And you got this field here, right, at Fitchburg High School. You got this field here modeled after Harvard's Soldier Field, which at the time was the largest poured cement field structure in the world. And you get this high school right here that does that. And this is all part of what's called the City Beautiful movement. Yes, I'm thinking most of us probably haven't heard about that, the City Beautiful movement. But the City Beautiful movement, like 100 years ago, basically said with town planning, all towns and their planning should be including green spaces, right? And their city planning. Again, whether it's these big, beautiful fields or whether it's, like parks or not, but the city planning must include green spaces now, right? So now, a couple famous people came here. One of them was Babe Ruth. And when Babe Ruth came here, he said, he goes, hey, what professional team plays here? And they were like, Babe Ruth was playing here. And they're like, Babe Ruth, the Fitchburg High School plays here. Babe Ruth was stunned. What? A high school team? You mean this is not a professional baseball team here? He was shocked. And, maybe he shouldn't have been so shocked because the Reds, the professional baseball team, the Reds did play here, as a matter of fact, in an exhibition game against the Fitchburg High School staff, right? Paavo Nurmi, the flying Finn, right, who had 9 gold medals in the Olympics, ran here. Yes, these are some really amazing, famous, successful athletes that are on this field and simply amazed by this field, which has been called over and over the Cathedral of Excellence. Alvah Crocker II said he wanted to inspire excellence for a century. So if you were going to try to inspire excellence for a century, what would you do? Would you do something like this? Right? Now, I'm standing over here right now by the original gate of 1918. So you're looking at, over 100 years. This is the original gate of it, still here, right? Still here of Crocker Field in Fitchburg, Mass, right? So now here's the question now, and this is a tough question to struggle with. Yes, these billionaire philanthropists, they did do some good by creating green spaces and made the people's lives better. If you're not familiar with the turn of the century, 20th century, people were working long, long days, 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, and sometimes it was for a nickel a day or something comparable to a nickel a day. And these moguls got really, really rich. Some people call them robber barons, others call them captains of industry, but a lot of people call them robber barons. And the question that we have to struggle with is, thank goodness, they did something like this. Make our lives a little bit better. It's wonderful. But here's the tough question. Does it make up for the long pays, the long hours, and the little pay that they paid their employees while they got extremely wealthy, and the working class was basically working poor and had really rough lives, right? Really rough lives. But does this field make up for it? Does Central Park in New York, Walnut Hill Park in New Britain make up for it? I don't know. It's a tough question to wrestle with. So, I like to, mix travel with history and leadership. This Fitchburg place is a really pretty cool place. This Crocker Field, which was the biggest, baddest, best field, like the whole country pretty much back in those days. It is definitely a sight to be seen. It's definitely worth traveling down here, hanging out in Fitchburg for the day and checking it out. Gave you a little bit of history on it. Now, here's the leadership. The leadership is, right? True leadership provides for the future, not just the present, right? Remember, this guy gave a bunch of money and he gave a permanent endowment. It means these guys are still getting money to maintain this field and make sure that the Fitchburg High School can play here. How cool is that, right? And the money, I'm sure some of the money has provided for the gate, the original gate in this field to be taken care of, all right? Well, anyways, guys, this is Dan Blanchard with the Travel in Time with Dan show, where we mix travel with history and with leadership, and of course with me, Dan Blanchard. I'm going to be back real soon with another really interesting show somewhere else. And until then, you take care, and I'll see you again real soon.